Yow. How's it going, brother?
Good. How you doing?
Good, good. So looking at your profile here, you said biggest pain points, surviving ganks, movement lane, team fighting. Sweet. And you main Echo, yeah?
Yep.
Sweet. You have a VOD prepared?
Hold on. I'm looking through these. I don't really have any good games. I kind of hit winner's queue a little bit. So,
Well,
just
winning doesn't really mean like that
right,
much,
right,
because like no matter what VOD we open, whether you went 15-0 or 0-15, I'll have plenty to go over with you.
right,
Um,
right.
well, how about this? This is what I'll do for you. We'll pick a game here, and if it doesn't have much to go over, I won't charge you for this session, and you can just play like today or tomorrow, or whatever, and bring me a different one.
Okay. Nah, it's good.
I want you to get your money's worth. So if there isn't enough, we can always do another one. Sound good?
Yep. Sounds good.
Word. All right.
Um, yeah. I don't like how I played in this one, but I know there's gonna be definitely some things. So we'll see.
Well, what about So what's this one against Malzahar 9-8-6? How'd that one go?
That might be 9, 8, and 6. Let me see. Yeah, we could do it if you want. I'm not.
Well,
We could do this one.
even if we don't do that one, let's just talk about something real quick because it's very
Sure.
important for the elo. So I'll just funny story or a relevant story. Back when I was learning the game, and I was in your elo. Well, it was back then. There was 5 divisions, so it was Diamond 5 instead of Diamond 4. So I was Diamond 5. And I know you're not Diamond 4 or whatever, but you're close enough that you're in low Diamond games sometimes, right? So
Been diamond before.
right. Okay. So Diamond is fucking awful. It's just a
Yeah.
terrible, terrible elo to play in. Easily the worst elo to play in. And something that kept me like what was holding me back for months, and I didn't know, was I would get so many games where my bot lane's 0 and fucking 15, my top laner's 0 and 10, and I would just start making like desperation plays and kind of get tilted that they're running it, and then even though I would win my lane, I wouldn't like I would just throw because I was either tilted or like I said desperation plays. As soon as after watching enough VODs of other players, like good players, I realized that in games like that, they just would keep playing normal, literally, just completely normal. They wouldn't force things. They're just they would just play normal, and when enemy team threw, they threw. Even when their bot laners are 0 and 10. Once I accepted that my laners, I almost expected my laners to end, and I just played normal. I shot from D5 to Masters in a week. And then I got stuck in higher elo. So like right before Challenger. And you eventually learn that even in Challenger, you have to carry 015 bot lanes. So it's a good thing to get kind of over now. You can't really let people inting tilt you too hard
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you actually have to carry them even all the way in Challenger. You know
yeah.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yep. Agreed. Okay, we could do this one.
Um, but yeah,
Uh,
we don't have to do this one if you want, but yeah, I'm down to do it. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh right, yeah. Your bot lane is it's like your bot lane's 5 and 24. Is that obnoxious? Of course, right? And the game might have been unwinnable, but regardless if it was unwinnable or not, we would probably have a bunch of takeaways here.
yeah, I definitely. Yeah, I play tilted. I just like when I get tilt. I mean, you know how it is mid lane. It's like
Of course.
jungle lane once,
Oh yeah.
and then I just I just start running it down. So I full expect like full like monkey plays.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna say like mostly my goal is to just figure out what my pain points are, especially with like laning.
Hmm.
I've been watching like Jala Band's VODs,
Yeah. He's definitely the one to
and
watch.
yeah, and just I get ganked a lot.
Yep.
Um, just general decision making, movement. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, I'll give you everything. Don't worry. We will cover everything that you need here. Especially laning phase because it's the most important part of the game. We'll be going through it extensively here. Anyway, so yeah, we can get started here. So Malzahar, yeah, Malzahar. Well, first let's also see what he started. Okay, so he started. The fact that he has Smite with Spellbook That is some grief ass shit. I don't know what that's going for. I don't see any value in it in any way, shape, or form. Um, so all it basically tells you is you need to like body this guy because Malzahar's laning is absolute dog shit. As I'm sure you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So let's see. So that's how like you want to. So when you went into this game, what's really important about laning, of course, is how like your mentality going into it. It's like what you thought looking at his rune setup and this matchup. What were you thinking when you started this game? Like how did you want to
I
play the waves, stuff like that.
Yeah. I didn't even realize I had smite in the beginning, but I usually with Malzahars, I usually like shove them in, throw my Q whenever they send out the minions. Malzahar is usually pretty easy
Uh
for
huh.
me. I don't know, it says it's a counter matchup. It feels pretty easy for me, but yeah, I don't think I played this one well at all.
Okay.
But yeah, just probably shove them in. Don't let them get like a huge stacked wave on me, and then avoid the
Okay. So we definitely have a problem right away. And you can kind of so like throwing your Q like this, good. You pop his shield. Like at this point, um, like so shoving Mal's in is one thing. Like shoving's good in general. Like shoving's always gonna be, it's gonna give you roam timers, ward timers, invade. It gives you lane tempo, basically. But you don't want to just mindlessly shove if there's no like especially in the early parts of the game. You start mindlessly shoving at like level 8 or 9 when your Q because like at level 8 or 9, not only does your Q do a lot of damage to the wave, it like can almost clear backline. Sometimes it can clear backline, I'm sure you know. But also that's when people start to move around the map a lot. So you can't really reliably try to kill the enemy laner, especially against Malzahar. That's also when he can just start pressing EWQ on the wave, and it just shoves basically on its own. Early in the game like this, though, shoving him in, the only thing it actually does, like right now, is makes him have to farm under tower and make him use some mana. But that there's the value there isn't as much as if you did something like hitting level 2 and jumping in and using level 2 advantage to chunk him or something like that.
feels
Because
like gold. Yeah.
because like the issue here is like you popped a shield and that's good, but then you walk up like this and you just throw Q through the wave like this. So because here's the issue. So like I already said, the value if you of just shoving him in isn't as high, but the bigger issue is that all this does is leave you very vulnerable. So if this is a player that understands the game, every time you do this, they walk all the way up, auto you nonstop, use their abilities on you, and you don't touch the wave. So you wouldn't be able to shove him in anyway. So it's very important you don't just waste abilities on the wave when you don't have to. Now, there is another thing that Echo players, or like, there are times where you want to throw Q at the wave, and what Echo Q is good for is thinning a wave. So if they are slow pushing into you, which is a very common thing when they're playing range versus melee, then they start stacking it up. Then you start throwing Qs through the wave, and by the time it actually crashes, you've already thinned it out. Like you've already cleared it with your Q because you threw it like multiple times during that. If that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But the big
Definitely.
thing here is this Q right here is there's no value here. And then it just leaves you vulnerable. Because, so if you go for a CS, he can contest you. If this Q is up and you walk up for a CS, then you throw it at him and you guys are trading back, which is, fundamental part of laning, right?
Right.
So yeah, this was so like see this guy, he's griefing. The whole like he let you walk on up, and now at least he's walking up, and see you had to drop a CS for it. So he should have walked up even before that. Actually, you had to drop multiple CS. Then he hits you, and then yeah, he hits you with E here. Now he shouldn't let you touch the wave again. See, so he's like walking backwards for whatever reason. He could just be standing right here, autoing you because you don't have Q.
Wait
Um,
for that spot here. I can't EQ him really.
what'd you say?
I said the waves in. I always do this where I put the wave in a really bad spot
Mm-hmm.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I think the idea that I was trying to do here was I was trying to hit level 2 first so I could EQ.
Mm-hmm.
um, which I did, but it's like he's literally like so close to his turret, I probably wouldn't even. And he's got a shield now, so it's like I won't even hit my passive or anything like that. So
Right, exactly. And that's why like the game plan here, what you should be going into with 99%. Actually, let me think Echo nowadays if there's any matchups that you would when you would try to push level 1 against a range. I don't even know if there is one anymore. Basically, point is I literally can't even think of a range champ in this current meta that you should be trying to shove in level 1, because your gameplay most of the time is going to be like they push into you, you hit, and then like either they crash 2 waves and you hit level 3 on the rebound wave, or they crash 3 waves and then you hit level 3 after it clears and it resets back in the middle or starts slow pushing back to them. There's no way really around that if they know what they're doing, because if you do this, yeah, it puts the wave in this awkward spot where he should have already punished you more for it. Wait, do you have... Okay, yeah, you've Croaked Pot. She already should have punished you more for it. And now all that's going to happen, if he played properly, is he makes sure you can't really touch the wave that much, and it starts slow pushing back to you anyway.
right.
So like you need to be going into these matchups with a very clear, like fundamental game plan to start with at least. Because now you set yourself up to, like I said, he can punish you way harder than he had. Like, see this shit that he's doing right now? This is just garbage. He can use every ability on you. He doesn't have to touch the wave with an ability and harass the shit out of you. Because, like you just said, you can't jump on him when he's near his tower like this.
Yeah, I hate that I played it like this. Like this is, I already knew that I messed up the lane.
Mm-hmm.
I could see my health and my mana and like the wave position. I'm like, yeah, this is doomed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was already getting tilted at myself here, for sure.
It's okay though, because it's Mal's. You know, he is dog shit, so you can. Yeah. So basically, what all I'm seeing right now is it's autopilot. I think that's what this is, kind of. It's like autopilot of throwing Q at the wave. You can correct me if I'm wrong if it's not autopilot. If you literally thought this was just the correct way to play it, but
No,
it does.
no, definitely not.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now ends up crashing here. Now you can start to play a little. You hate to see it. All right. He's gonna go ward. Now it's your turn to play. Okay, so tell me why you played this this trade. Why you did it? Why you did EQ like this?
I think this is autopilot. For me, like EQing on him with the shield. Like normally, I think the way I would have played it would be E auto if I can, and then Q, and then or E W, one of those two. But I think it was just like, oh, autopilot. He walked up. I'm assassin. Let me engage.
Okay. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be a big issue. Like, you know, it's the same issue that we were just talking about, just a different part. Instead of like the wave control, it was trading. You don't even have to, like, you could just E onto him and then auto and Q and stuff like that. Or you could also just like walk. So when he comes to contest you for CS, you know, you could just so when he walks up to grab a CS or contest you, you could just hit him with Q first to pop it. So when you do go in next, you get a full combo. But yeah, definitely a big... I mean, not only did you jump in like that on his shield, but then you even threw W like deep like this. It's just it was just another thing that a good player just punishes you really hard for that.
Right. Yeah, I think most of this game we'll see. I'm just kind of autopilot playing. I think I was already tilted at this point.
So why are you tilted already at this point?
I think I realized that he brought Smite, and it's more of a like, it's like I'm mad at myself for how I played the early game. Like I'm very, like when I watch
self-critical
VODs. Yeah, when I watch VODs, I'm very specific on like levels 1 through 3 and like the level 2 trade and how I play the first wave.
Mm-hmm.
So if I misplay it in the beginning, I already am like, oh, you know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I kind of knew this was a bad game, but still.
We can always switch. We can always switch to another one.
Yeah, actually, I might want to switch to like the Z game just
Sure.
because I feel like I played that more like untilted.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. No problem. No problem. Let's switch.
My bad, my bad, my bad.
You're good. You're good. Which one is that?
Uh, that one is more recent. It should be the five. No. 9-7, 9-7.
All right. Let's take a look. So
I
how do you?
definitely did.
Go ahead.
I definitely did play this one not optimally either, but um, something did happen, which I kind of want to like get your thoughts on, which is
Mm-hmm.
like I got ganked, I think a decent amount,
Yep.
and I also like couldn't carry the mid game even though I was pretty ahead, or like I couldn't not carry it, but I feel like I let my Riven carry me in this game,
Mm-hmm.
which is like just general decision making in this game. I don't think I was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
pretty
We'll
good.
take a look. So how do you? So when we talk about game plans, like we just did with Malzahar, what is your plan here against Zed? How does this matchup go in your opinion?
So for me, for this actually, it's try to shove in the first wave, hit level 2 first. Not shove it into tower, but just hit level 2 first.
Okay.
Maybe crash on wave 2 or 3. Strafe left and right to dodge his Qs.
Okay.
Uh, and then pretty much just if I can hit him with Q, go in with E auto. Just try to generally like dodge his Qs and poke him
Okay.
down.
Okay. Yeah. So the main thing with Zed, no matter who you are, it's all the W. His W is his main ability. It's more important than his alt. So that's like the thing you should be paying attention to. Dodging Qs is great, uh, but you don't have to put that much mental energy into dodging Qs. I will probably talk about like that kind of stuff in a sec when we get into this. But that's the key to Zed is his W. So let's see if you play around that. I don't know why he was late into lane, but okay. So now what you have to understand about this level 1, it's very so he was late into lane, so you got to auto the minions a bunch, right? That's good because that gives you the push advantage. Now, because he's an AD champ though, his auto attacks do like a little bit more damage than yours. So if you throw Q like you just did when he's not going for any CS and he dodges this, even if he doesn't dodge it, but especially if he dodges that, you have to understand that that lets him walk up and like anytime you go for CS, he can hit you with an auto, he can hit you with Q, and he can actually turn this into his push if you because you would have to respect him, especially if he had Conqueror. So the reason I'm telling you, so like this is especially important against like a Yone, someone who so Zed isn't the strongest of AD champs level 1. He's one of the weakest, if not the weakest. But something like Talon, this would be really, really important. Yone, Yasuo, Aurelia, Pantheon, all of these can really punish you if you don't actually hold your Q for when they go for a CS at least. So you can guarantee that it hits, or and he can even end up getting like when he walks up for a CS, Q, auto, and because they're so close, you might even be able to get the electric Q proc with the passive auto. But does that make sense? Just like kind of
Yeah.
okay.
Save Q for when he's actually going for CS.
Mm-hmm. See, because that's laning phase in a nutshell, right? That is like the number one fundamental to laning. Everything you do is kind of based on CS. The only thing I can say about, like, the only not bad thing about throwing Q like you just did is the fact that like you're full mana. So
That was my thought process. And he also is farming with his Q, so I was like, let me just, if he ever gets in range for it, let me just throw it. But I think saving it for when he actually tries to auto a CS, maybe he doesn't have his Q up, is much better. I agree
yeah,
with you.
so
That's pretty good.
The first Q you just threw, the only reason it's like okay and you could like let it slide is because yeah, you're full mana, so it lets your mana regen actually go to not go to waste. After that though, pretty much every Q you throw should be when he's going for CS. Because if you do that, then yeah, he will feel like he's forced to use Q to grab last hits. And it'll make it so you land your Qs. So like if you because no matter how good of a player you are, you can put Faker, in mid lane. If he's trying to throw abilities when the enemy laner isn't going for CS, he's gonna miss too. That's just how it is, right? That's what helps people land it. So like yeah, this is good the way you're playing here. Okay, auto that. Okay, that's not the worst. Oh, okay. Nice. So it's okay that you missed that CS there. You could have got up. It's okay. At least you were contesting his CS, and that's good. Okay, here we go. Let's see what you do here. Okay. So why did you, when you were 1 minion from 2, why did you just throw Q through the minion?
I think here I was trying to see because I know again I put my wave in a super bad position. I always do this. I don't know why.
No, this is okay. This wave spot's good.
Okay. Yeah, my thought process is let me hit him with Q. If it does hit, then I can E, and maybe hit my passive auto with the. Because if I E him, he's just gonna walk into turret range. But I guess E would be fine too if I hit the minion, E him, and then he walks away. I could just Q him, and at least I get a little bit more damage. But
yeah, you could. So what you would do is, what you want to try to do is almost back up a little and see what they do, because a lot of the time players, especially at this elo, they will tunnel vision. So it's a mental stack thing. Their mental is overwhelmed by they want to Q this. So if you walk back like that makes them think they can walk up and Q this. Then you're hitting level 2, and then you do EQ, the first part of E, Q to slow him, jump to him, just like the combo you try to do on Malzahar. And then you could easily proc that without being in tower range if you do that properly and fast enough because of where he's going. So you see where he's standing? So with him standing here, if you just autoed that and then did EQ and then jump to him with the second part of E, you're easily going to be able to proc the passive and proc electrocute and everything without taking a tower shot. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely, because the way this matchup goes, you're actually not supposed to hit level 2 first against a player that knows how it goes. He should stand in the wave and make sure you can't do that. But because he's giving it to you, you got to use this level 2 advantage and get a nice chunk now. Did he take refillable? No. Okay. If he took refillable, then it's really crazy misplay from him. But yeah, so you definitely got to punish, because basically that's League in general. All it is punishing mistakes. And the higher you go, the less mistakes that are made. So when they make big ones like that, he was way out of position for level 2. So yeah, he's got to be punished for that. Okay. Definitely not a fan of that, but it could be worse. Okay, so a little bit of a map awareness issue here. So your jungler is getting invaded as you're clearing this next wave, and as you clear it,
until we died.
And
I should have thought about that too, because Kindred usually likes to invade, I think.
No, see, that's not your fault. That is not something you even need to worry about. Kindred invading level 2 like this is random as fuck. She does like to invade, but this, I haven't seen this ever. I've been playing this game for 10 years and I've never seen this before. A level 2 invade to someone's wolves. So that's not your fault. Your issue is that this invade, she showed up when you were clearing this wave still. You didn't see her, you walked up over and put a ward here, and then you saw her.
Yep.
And map awareness is not an easy thing. The best, so Dopa, you know Dopa, right?
Yeah, of course.
His map awareness is makes mine look like shit, and I don't miss that much on the minimap. But map awareness is there's an infinite skill ceiling there, how much you can take in from it. So it is something you should constantly try to work on. I wouldn't even go for it at this point. Yeah.
See where she went so she doesn't try to gank me.
Wow, this Zed is Actually, straight up griefing. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, this was a great trade. You popped your pot and everything. Now. So, Zed damage, extremely low. Because one of the Qs went through minions. So, like, yeah, you're in a really good spot here. But the number one thing you don't do against Zed is try to jump in and fight him with the W out already, like right away. Not that you're gonna like die here or lose this trade or anything, but he could be really fucked if you just wait. So you want to wait for the W to be almost like about to run out. So like you can. I mean, luckily he didn't swap fast enough because like a better player here, the issue is they swap and you don't hit them with Q. Right.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice. That was a really bad misplay.
Yeah, so it's not that like you're gonna get punished really hard here that he could punish you. It just makes it so he could kind of avoid your all in here.
Resets the abilities too. So like now he gets his next trade before I get mine.
Yeah, and I really don't like that. So we've seen you use W twice in the two bots. First one was on the mouse. It was like a kind of big waste, really deep. Second one's here. Like, so what was your thought process here?
I wanted to block him from going back to his turret so I could potentially kill.
Okay.
That was my thought process.
So, in theory, of course, that sounds like it would be something that would work. But he knows you just threw it, right? You yell it. So not only does he know you just threw it, but we know Kindred is down here somewhere. She was, right? I mean, unless she reset. Yeah, she did. She reset. But we know she was down here. So with him hugging down there, you should be thinking, you shouldn't even think that he would go this way.
Right.
And if she shows up...
I didn't know if she reset or not. I was like, she's probably down there.
Right, exactly. So basically, you're like this ability, it's a big cooldown. So using it in a very, I guess the word is unreliable, a very unreliable way where it's not going to do it's not like you're going to be blocking any damage with it because he already used his combo. The odds of you hitting him with it here is extremely low. It's just kind of a waste. So because the difference, if you watch that guy, Zhao Laoban, or however his name is said, he is like easily the best Echo I've ever seen. I've watched his VODs pretty extensively, and if you watch how he uses his W, they are all very calculated. There's a very real purpose behind each one. Whether it's to shield, so when he walks up for CS, whether it's to look like to dive or to stun or whatever it is. You don't really see many that are just kind of thrown like this when he has no abilities up. And it's like the odds of it hitting is super small. See what I'm saying? Like a big part of playing League and being good at mid lane or being good in general is like every ability having very real purpose and intent behind it and not just kind of throwing it out type thing. And like hoping it lands or like, unreliably hits them. Does that all make sense?
Intent and actual reasonable,
Yep, reasonable, exactly. Because now, to be honest, like you are killable now. Because Zed, when you're like 80%, 70% HP, you're not really killable because he doesn't have passive auto. Now, this is the sweet spot for Zed. Because now you are at 50%. Remember his passive auto is a lot of Zed's damage. So now that you're at 50%, he can combo you, passive auto you for 6% max HP magic damage, and ignite you, and you are in kill range. If you have that W up, you're not in kill range yet. So it does leave you very vulnerable. So a good player will note that and play to punish it. Okay. You got any potions left? Yeah, and no potions left. So yeah, you are in a tricky spot here. So at this point, what was your thought process?
Probably shove this wave, crash it, and reset.
Yep.
I don't remember, but that's probably what I would do.
Yep, that's what you have to do now, since
Right. The
He
pot.
has more potions. Yeah.
Yeah, one WEQ passive auto is 9 by an
Hmm.
electrocute for sure.
Yep. Oh boy, you're about to get ganked from topside, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we'll talk about this in a sec. Ah, yeah, this is the worst.
Yeah, this happens to me every game.
Oh yeah, don't worry, bro. The game makes me sick at the moment with how disgusting jungle is. But we do have a few. So first off, So I don't.
So am
You're
I
at an.
already screwed in this position? Because like I pretty much messed up that EQ trade when he switched to his shadow, and I have my wave is like slow pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't seem like looking at this now I could even shove this. It looks like I should probably just back
Mm-mm. No, 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 no,
or
no.
like throw Q and then stay at turret range or something.
So there's a few different concepts here, and this is where the game actually gets a little bit difficult. So like in gold, I don't even. I tell players not to even think about the jungler. Like I don't care if they die to ganks or whatever. You are coming to an elo now where having small, like just a little bit of jungle tracking and understanding of ward placement is important. So we're going to talk about those two things. First, this ward right here. This is a ward you should be using against junglers that like to 3-camp gank, especially from this wall. Rek'Sai, Zac, sometimes cringe-ass Silas right now. The junglers I'm talking about. The ones
Yeah, yeah.
the ones that don't need like blue buff especially. They just do red and then they do this shit. That's where this is important. Or
Yeah, I actually played jungle just to learn the tracking, and Echo jungle is so much better, but I like Echo mid. But um, yeah, I think I threw that. My warding is atrocious. I put that there because I was thinking like if I could just see where he is, I can kind of like gauge what his clear is. But as
okay.
soon as I placed it, he invaded.
Yeah, so
I
let me
was
ask you
like,
this. So let's say
yeah,
you have an idea that you think Kindred is on the bottom side of the map. Let's just a random scenario. You think she's on the bottom side of the map, but you want to hug top side at the time. Or like your jungler's up here. Where do you think you should put your ward?
so it Kinder's on the bot side of the map, and my jungle's on the top side of the
Mm-hmm.
map.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess it depends on the situation, right? Like, yeah, am I like free to ward bot side and like
Mm-hmm.
see
Yeah.
where this Kindred is?
Yep.
I guess I would put it bot, or
Okay.
like, are you asking for a specific place where I would put it?
No, so that's just what I was wondering what you thought your thought process was there because that is the noob trap, or I don't want to say noob trap, or like common misconception. People think they should ward where the enemy jungler is. That's actually it's the opposite, or not the opposite, but you want to ward the side you want to play towards, so you're not hugging blind. Because what happened to you here
Mm,
is you're hugging blind.
right.
So if your jungler's up here, and so meaning you want to play towards this side, even if you know Kindred's on bot side, you still ward this side in case she resets and comes here, or just wraps around and comes here, because that's what good junglers will do if they know you warded bot side. Um, so yeah, you
Yeah.
always want to play towards the side with vision. You always want to give yourself vision the side you want to play towards. Does that make
Even if
sense?
my jungle's on that side, ward that side because the enemy jungle could potentially that's where they're pathing essentially,
Uh,
or that go to catch me off guard. Is
yeah,
that what you're
it's just
saying?
well, no, it's basically just you don't want to ever hug a side with no vision. You always want to hug the side that uh, like you always want to ward the side that you want to play towards, whatever, no matter what the reason is. If your jungler's on this side and that's why you want to play towards the side, that could be a reason. But the
Okay.
main, you just do not want to hug a side blind. This is like a really common mistake people make. They'll ward raptors like this and then play towards top side.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So basically, that's why. So the two wards you're going to place are either this against something like Rek'Sai, or this against pretty much anything else. Your default ward at this point in the game, you want to have it like right there and play towards that side. Because
When
like,
I go to ward,
would you would you say?
would it be the same time I warded those rates? I think I default ward rates because it's just like I'm usually like it's like an easy ward to place and then I get straight back into lane. But would I do it after this wave crashes, like right now?
So yeah, that this will be that'd be the perfect time to do it. You normally want to crash a
Okay.
wave and then place the ward so they don't even know where you put it. But yeah, because like this gets more in depth, but it's not worth it right now for you. You should just be doing default standard like warding like this for the ones we talked about, and pretty much everything else this after you crash a wave or as you start. So like let's say you get pushed in and then you start slow pushing back, then you might have to put it before crashing. But yeah, this ward or this one, the 90% of the games is going to be this one though. And then if you're on this side, blue side, then it would still go here. Both times, both sides, the ward goes right here.
Got it. So ward the side you want to play on, whatever the reason.
Yep, that's a huge that's the number one like fundamental of warding basically.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so because if you didn't waste this ward, on a jungler that you should never be warding here for her,
Right.
because Kindred's path, she either goes from here and jumps this wall, or goes to here, around to here and jumps this wall. I mean, she's like, there's no world really where she goes from here and invades. Like I think she actually did. She end up doing what I just said? Did she jump the walls? I bet she did do that actually. Yep. See, so like this is a common Kindred thing. So yeah, so like this ward was wasted, and then you didn't play towards the side you're supposed to. So that's the warding concept. Now the other concept we said we're going to touch on here was jungle tracking. Jungle tracking, you really at this level especially only have to do the bare kind of minimum, which is first taking note of when they appear and where, and then thinking about where they could go from that spot. So
yeah, it's so hard to do that mid lane. Like when I jungle, it's like
easy.
I'm going against AI, right? It's just like I'm like it's so easy to know exactly where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yep, super easy.
Mid, it's just like I'm so focused on my laner, like hitting level 2. Like I think I didn't even see this Kindred invade.
Right. Of course.
So late was because I was so focused on level 2.
Yeah.
I think it was probably the exact same time, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, can't blame you for that. Like laning is a very it takes up your entire mental stack. Like it's very laning is very intense, right? Like there's a lot you have to pay attention to. So can't blame you for that. But it's actually not too bad it's not too hard to just take note of when they appear like this. Like when you saw her here, okay, we know she's there and she has red and blue. Oh great, she killed Hecarim. So she has red, she killed Hecarim, and Hecarim already cleared his bot side. So like Kindred, you can literally just think, okay, where should she go next? She only has two options really. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, my thought process is she either hugs the wall, ganks mid from behind, or she just resets and goes top, or
Okay.
goes to her wraiths or whatever after she ganks me. But
yeah, I guess she has three options. So like she could either go right to bot lane, or run through mid lane, which is like the one the high elo players would definitely do. They would just run right through mid lane.
That's what I was thinking she might do. But
depending on her HP. So like yeah, she could just run through mid lane, but basically she's going to end up here. She's going to end up in top side for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you understand that part, then it would be very easy for you at this time to play towards bot side. After you don't have to play towards bot side right now, but it should be in your mind that she should end up top very soon, especially since you don't see her on this ward that you put down. So this just goes back down to playing towards the side that you have vision of. She never showed up here, and she didn't show up bot, and she didn't gank you, so she has to be going top. You see what I'm saying? It's just what's the word? I don't know, the word where you can figure out where they are. Something of elimination. I don't fucking remember. Either way, you get the point here.
Yeah, I definitely should have known that. Just use process of elimination to just realize okay, she's bot. Why am I hovering top? She definitely reset and going top.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way she's not. She's not on my. She's not on race. She's not ganking bot. She's definitely top. So
And it's like, and the reason, so something that could kind of get you to think about this a little bit more. So like when I play, something I've like instilled in me, like I feel very, very uncomfortable being next to a brush like you are and it not have vision of it. I feel very uncomfortable. So like just watching you here, I'm afraid of this brush because I've, over the years I've learned I've gotten punished too many times. So like if I don't let's say I don't have a ward and I don't have vision of either side, I'm like, I'll be dead in the middle most of the time. So like where you're positioned in the lane is a huge part when it comes to like surviving ganks based off the information you have. If you have no information, being right in the middle is your best bet. If you have a ward on one side, you hug that side. If you know they're on one side, you hug the opposite, right? Like all of that is very... So like let's say, even if let's say you know the enemy jungler's top side, and your ward is in like you don't have to put a ward on bot side because you want to hug the opposite side. You can remember it all just comes down to which side you want to hug for whatever reason. So like it's fine to put a ward on the side the enemy jungler's on and hug that side because you'll see if they're coming. That's the whole point of it, right? So
definitely a top side.
What'd you say?
Top side. I said definitely the top side ward was the play
Mm-hmm.
in all situations, and I don't know why I'm hugging this top side brush. Like
it's probably because you're very focused on trading and trying to kill Zed or whatever you're focused on. It's the mental stack.
Yeah, it's funny seeing it because it's like I can tell that like if thinking about it rationally now, it's like it's so obvious, but then it's just like my brain stopped with, oh, I saw Kindred bot side, and it didn't do the next step of
right.
She probably reset and went top.
That's League. Like League, it's not like telling you to go into lane and CS last hit everything. That's easy on its own. Telling you to CS and track all their cooldowns, that's a little bit harder. Telling you to CS like track the enemy jungler, that's even hard to see. Like the mental stack, it just gets overwhelmed with so much shit. So the way you do this, the way you learn this, is you take one concept at a time because it'll become autopilot and it'll free up your mental stack. So you want to go into be like, okay, I'm going to, every time I see the enemy jungler, I'm going to notice where they are and then think about where they should go next. And if you do that enough, you'll just start doing it naturally. And then you can go to the next thing. And then you eventually incorporate all of these things, and that's what makes you like a sound fundamental laner.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Sweet. Okay. So yeah, because this is the worst. We've all been here. It's fucking cancer. Your wave's slow pushing, and you get ganked. Jungle is just extremely hard roll. They deserve it. They deserve all this fucking power and all the other shit. But if I were another part of outplaying ganks or surviving ganks is how you play the actual gank. And landing this W actually bought you a lot of time. So what you should have done here, like your best bet, because the thing is, you can run here all you want. Like, you can run and survive, and it's still going to be such a big loss, right? Because you're wave slow pushing. So, you want to go for, like, almost like either a quick death or a quick outplay. So, what you should do is, like, come over here and just sit over this wall. And then, hopefully, Zed walks around the corner. Kindred walks around the corner. You E over the wall, E to a minion or something, and, like, maybe flash, something like that. Because just like taking this long route where it's just eventually you're just bleeding the whole time, it's just, it only ends a few different ways, right? And it's all bad unless you can somehow survive like right here and get back on this side of the map.
Okay, it should be the right.
Oh, that sounds much better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that sounds much better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think it was on my headphones mics.
Yeah, that sounds way better, way more clear and louder. Sweet. So yeah, does that make sense how like you want to kind of play this gank out?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Either way, like it could still go. Like if Zed was smart, if he understands that you should do this, he'll put a ward here anyway. But I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. Let's see. Jesus, he even waited there. He even waited there not to get hit by the Q and got hit by it anyway. Yeah. So like you could have literally just eat over the wall, jump to this, boom, you're gone. But right. Either way. It's just basically knowing that you're in such a bad scenario, even if you survive, that it's almost worth to just It is almost. Oh my goodness gracious! No way, Kindred.
Kindred.
Oh my goodness! Wait, is he actually pushing the other way? So like, see, he
Yeah.
should reset here, right? But wow,
Yeah.
Jesus, this either. Uh,
Pretty bad.
okay, you have a chance here to. Yeah. So what were you thinking here? Freeze?
Freeze for sure.
Good.
I'm hoping. Yeah, definitely.
Trying to
see if
stop
I can
this
the
recall?
back.
Yes, sir. Very good. All right, lanes. That's it. Lanes 1 for you. That's all you had to do.
Yeah.
So
That
now
Kindred just completely destroyed this.
well, actually, Kindred didn't even push it the other way. She hit it a few
Yeah.
times, but it didn't actually push it the other way. Zed's the one who decided to
Yeah.
do that. So I would love to blame the jungler because they're all a bunch of cunts, but this was actually Zed's fault. Aha. Okay.
Okay, so
This
this
is-
is I definitely need help in this.
Yep. This is the trade pattern that, like, this is the high level trade pattern. This is exactly what Zed has to do against you.
Yep.
So this is how you want to think about something like this. It's kind of like, God, this fucking replay. The client is so bad. So you need to be thinking of it this way. If Zed doesn't use W, how much of a threat is he to you?
Probably pretty high because I can't ever hit my passive on him.
Okay, well,
If
no.
he doesn't use his W.
So if he
Is that
doesn't
what
use
you're saying?
W and he's trying to like harass you or pressure you, how much pressure can he, like, how dangerous actually is he?
Oh, yeah, he can't do anything.
Right, he doesn't do
He
anything.
has to use his W to harass me.
So if he can't pressure you in any way here, if he doesn't use W, how can he forcefully crash this wave? How can he get you to walk away from the wave and let him crash it?
There's no way.
There's
he
no
has
way.
to use W to.
Exactly. So
Okay.
the only way he can like get something out of this is if you force the trade without, because it all comes down to the situation or like what he needs here and what you're trying to do. The main thing here is the wave is frozen and he needs to crash the wave. You understood this, that's why you froze it. So it's not on you to go in here. It's on you to prevent the wave from crashing and make him have to overstay or force the crash, and then you punish for it. So all you have to do is when he walks up for CS, hit him with like a Q or something or contest him like that, and that's it. Like he will be forced to use W to do something. He will have to try to hit you with a WQ, and if he misses, that's it. Now you have 20 seconds that you can do. You can just jump in and kill him if you wanted. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, that makes so much sense. Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay.
So like so when I say trading pattern, this is how you want to think about certain matchups. Is like, what do they need to win the trade? So for example, LeBlanc, like a good LeBlanc won't let you get your passive auto or your full combo off on her if she has W and E. Her E is like the really big one. With her E, that's how she gets like her full combo off, auto you a ton.
Oh man, I hate LeBlanc. I definitely, I think if I get another session here, it'll be a LeBlanc VOD for sure.
Sweet, yeah. That's actually a matchup I really enjoyed playing as Echo, because like it's a footsie based matchup, meaning like it all comes down to you trying to bait out her E and making her miss. If you do that, it matchup's free. It's all her E. Because it's just like Zed here. Like LeBlanc, if she jumps in with just W, she's actually not that big of a threat, and like you can always like jump to her after she does that. But you can't just jump on her if she uses W and she has her E ready. So it's all about like understanding what these matchups, like what the champions you're going against, like their main ability, and what you need to do to get them to use it. Obviously it's very situational, so I can't give you a general rule of thumb. But it just like the way I'm having you, or the way I'm describing this scenario with Zed and how he needs to use his W, that's kind of how like you want to start thinking about different certain matchups. Does that all make sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Sweet. Okay, another W. We really, so this is going to be a big problem. This is definitely one of the biggest issues with your laning so far. Because you keep throwing Ws that are just a huge waste. Because like here, what is this W going to do? There's no world ever he just walks into this shit. Right? And like, with the wave right now, it being frozen and it being a big cannon wave, this W could be really crucial in like stunning the minions or letting you walk up to the wave without getting killed. You know what I mean? Like this leaves you very vulnerable. He should now. Yeah, see, you should die here. Okay, so you realize you should die.
Yeah, I played that so bad.
Yeah, because you're just forcing. He's level 5. Like if you did this with your W, it's different. But
right.
You threw the W before and then jumped in.
Yeah, this is definitely autopilot for me, and I'm like, okay, I got a full reset. I should be stronger. Also, I want to keep the wave frozen. It's just like I want too many things. I think here, it's like just bait out the W. Even if he shoves the wave in with his WEQ, I can go kill him.
Right, and remember, like at the very start, I said all League is punishing mistakes. He did make a mistake by pushing the wave the other way and putting this wave in this shitty spot. But what that leaves him with is like overstay and die, or like either he has to recall or try to use his W to like shove the wave or chunk you or something so you can't stop him. But if you just go in and force and jump into his giant wave, and when he has a level advantage, you know, then now you're making the mistake and you throw it back to him. So you just have to realize he's the one who has to do something big here. He's the one who has to somehow crash this wave with you there. So what you should be thinking is, okay, I'm going to thin out the wave while he sits back there and jerks off. He'll eventually throw a W. And then once he does, then I'll jump in. Forcing is a really big mistake a lot of players have. And it either comes from lack of knowledge of what they should be doing, or trying too tunneled on killing someone when they will just kill themselves, basically. If the enemy laner would kill themselves when they have to make the big play of like trying to get this crashed. Does that all make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Yeah, these W's keep leaving you completely vulnerable. So now you're in big trouble. Oh boy. WQ? Ooh.
Yeah, I think I get ganked here too.
Yeah, so if you get ganked, if you're ever like no HP under tower, you should basically think you're going to get ganked and dove. And that's actually your jungler isn't supposed to be there to save you. No one's supposed to save you here. You almost just have to like hold that, because it's just like in top lane. If a top laner is low HP under their tower and they cry, that they get dove, like they deserve to get dove because they're losing really hard. So they should never be in that spot in the first place, kind of. If that makes sense. Yeah, so you should be dove here. If you're not dove here, it's griefing by them. Yeah. And now
you're pretty hard.
Oh no! Don't tell me they fucked this up.
I think they fucked this up. I don't remember.
Okay, this is a good start. Oh my goodness, my fucking eyes. Oh my god. So the fact that you live here makes me sick to my goddamn stomach to watch. Like, junglers really are just a special breed. No, don't tell me you kill someone. Your game should be over here. Like, you die, you lose all of this, and that's it. You don't get to play anymore. But I want to see how you somehow get a kill here. Let me just see how this could be fucking. Oh my god, no way. No way he's this brain dead. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Yeah, well, that guy deserves to be banned. That's 100% fact. Wait.
Yeah, I definitely didn't deserve that, but I got it anyway.
Wait, why can't I see Zed? Oh, there he is. So, you actually should have died here again. If I'm... Yeah, the fact that he didn't sit in this brush after she cleared the ward... Because, like, you taking this route should have got you killed, to be honest. Why didn't you think... Or why did you think you could take this route with Zed here? You just didn't think he could kill you or would kill you or something?
I just thought that they wouldn't think that I would come.
Okay.
Like, I just thought that, like, they're trying to... Because I think I saw them clearing a ward, right? Is that what was happening?
They cleared your control ward. Or somebody's.
Yeah, whenever I see... It's just like, this is an autopilot for me again. It's just like, whenever I see someone across that little, like, wall, I know I can E it, and I know most players don't know that Echo or don't think Echo's gonna E it. So I just usually sit at the edge of that wall, EQ for a kill or something.
Okay. Because, like, well, no, like, that was fine. You doing this and killing her was fine. But after you killed her and wrapped back around, that
Oh,
was,
that's what you're saying.
yeah, he should have killed you here.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, because, I mean, one Q kills you, and, you know, like, he should literally just be waiting here, recalling, and if you show up, he Q flashes over the wall or W's or whatever, and you're dead. And then he's recalling with the wave still pushing to him, and you're in another shitty spot. So obviously they are some real griefers because your entire game should have been over on that.
Right.
Your mistake was like so big forcing the trades with him on the freeze. It was like such a great scenario for you, and then it was the complete opposite. It's such a really bad scenario. And then everything kind of went back and forth. But everything that we've gone over so far makes sense?
Yep, makes sense.
Cool.
I know we're at time, so...
Oh, no, you're good. We'll go through at least like 15, 20 minutes of this game, and then we'll see.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so this is what. Okay, so this is okay. Your issues are actually like very clear because they just come up again and again. So like, why did you, when you got here, why was the first thing you did E and Q the wave?
I think I just wanted to shove it as fast as possible.
Okay, so why did you want to shove it?
Just to crash it, probably put some wards, maybe? No, I don't even have a ward, do I? I have no idea. Probably just for prio. Like for me, I just like always love like pushing the wave in. So I can like roam around.
Okay.
I think there was a pink in the bush. Like I don't know, something. I don't know. Like
yes.
Finding wards or something.
Okay, so
I have no idea what my thought
let's say you
process
know
is
where a control ward's over here or something, and you shove, and that's why you do it. The thing is, you know how we were talking about with abilities earlier, intent and like a reason to do something. It's the same thing with
Right.
wave control. You don't actually just want to mindlessly shove a wave, because you should easily, like, you could die for what you did here, because this Zed is already level 6, and I'm pretty sure he's like right here, right? Like, yeah, for some reason he walked this way, whatever the reason is. Like, if he sees you do that, he walks up. He can ult you. He can combo you. Like, you are using like your E. Even if you're trying to shove this wave, first of all, let's just tackle it one by one. Even if you're trying to shove this wave, your E doesn't do anything really when it comes to that. Your Q does it. Your E makes you do a little bit of extra damage to one target, right? It's just not worth the mobility and cooldown of this ability. So, and then if you just throw Q through the wave like this, and this Zed isn't dog shit, like, he comes out of the brush right here, and he can just ult you. Like, he will literally kill you right now, 100%. He has flash ignite. You don't have any sums. Like, maybe your W will let you survive, but even then, I don't think so. Like, I've been playing, like, I play a lot of Zed, and I've played this matchup so many times. And you should die here for something like this. And it's hard for you to know that because, you know, you don't get punished in this elo for something like this. But yeah, this is where the intent of not only the abilities, but the wave too. You should be thinking slow push here. Slow push gives you the longest possible tempo advantage you can have, right? Because they have to clear an entire wave. They have to clear a big wave. So it gives you experience leads. It gives you a tempo advantage, so like a long roaming timer that where you can go dive a lane or invade or whatever you want to do. But yeah, because if you just mindlessly shove like this, people will punish you for it. Luckily, you know, he doesn't notice it, and he kind of just lets you do whatever you want. And he even takes damage. Like, that was really shit from him. But yeah, okay, yeah, this Zed is something. That was a good trade though. It's good to use the wall for that. It's really nice to have a control ward to do that. Do you have one? No, you didn't have enough. Okay, so yeah, see, so like this right here. So another example. So like you just got a really good trade. He is now easily in kill range, even with his ult, right? Like his ult doesn't even matter here. So you throw 1 Q at the wave to get it so you can crash it, look to dive. But after that, you shouldn't be throwing Q. Because like now you can just auto these to death. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you need the Q for the dive. Are you planning on diving here?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
It's either dive, and I think my thought process here is like I don't want him to like heal up with his potions before I dive him.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to dive as fast as possible.
Okay.
And I also didn't. I probably wasn't looking at the kindred, so I was like scared of the kindred coming and messing everything up. But
oh yeah, you definitely don't even have to worry about Kindred here. Even if you didn't see her, you don't have to worry about her here because Zed is now like made such a big mistake that if Kindred shows up, Zed either dies trying to kill you, like to help her, or you just turn and kill Kindred because she can't be 6 yet. You guys both just hit 6. You see what I'm saying? So like you're in no danger here. So he needs to die for this. He needs to either have to recall and take a bad recall or die. But if you throw a Q like this, now the wave's gonna crash, and you used E. You threw Q and you used E. So if I'm him, I'm not even worried anymore. Honestly, I would if I'm him, I walk at you and can kill you here again. Even with your ult, because with Ignite, Zed doesn't actually. The way this kind of works out a lot of the time is he can combo you and force you. If you don't have E and Q, he can combo you, force you to ult before he even ults, and then he can ult, or he can just ult you, not even use W. He can just ult you, use E, Ignite, make you ult, and then triple Q you with W when you come out. There's like a lot of different ways. Like you're just leaving yourself very vulnerable, wasting abilities so often. Especially when you need to dive, like you needed that E right here. You should be killing him right now. But now he gets to farm for free. This is like fine. Oh, this isn't though. Okay, this is really bad. This is really bad. This is something. Okay. Do you know why roaming down here right now is so bad?
I'm letting Zed come back into the game.
Right. So you even know, like you were.
Yeah, I think I turned around, but I was like, let me just walk forward a little bit just to see if she keeps overextending. Yeah.
Even if she did, think so.
Yeah.
Your priority list in mid lane is always number 1, get a lead over the enemy laner. Number 2, keep extending your lead and keep pushing them down. And then number 3 is like everything else. So, or like number 3 is basically doing a play that is going to give you more than those two, like more than what you're doing to the enemy mid. So for example, now if you see a bunch of kills near you at Dragon or something, then okay, you could go to that and like think you're going to get like 3 kills or something like that. But putting the enemy mid, especially an assassin like Zed, he's fucking useless when behind nowadays. So if you get him behind, he can never kill you. You can one-shot him at any time. So like think about how much, if you're ahead of Zed and you're the one who controls the side lane, think about how much that changes the game. Just that fact.
Yeah.
He can never get tempo advantage side lane. He always has to just like play safe, wait for you to shove, then you get to roam, all of those things. So it's the most important thing for you, especially in these volatile assassin matchups, is punishing them for their mistakes. And you only leave if it's a really good reason.
Right.
Because yes, so
that makes sense.
He needed to be dove there, and then here, if he shoved that wave, shit. Okay, careful. Here we go. Let him use W. So now this, the lesson I'm going to teach you here, which it is important. So first off, this is annoying. It's very annoying when you're winning lane and someone, support, jungle, it's a carpool lane, right? Everybody just comes here and they give them the freedom to push their wave. This is why it's so important you punish them when they first fuck up, not 20, 30 seconds later.
Right.
That's why that dive needed to happen earlier. You got to make that.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot in my games.
Because it is annoying. Trust me. Oh, man. I rant all day long on this stream about how fucking annoying jungle is. Like, you know, for certain reasons. You know, getting junglers ganking is one thing, but I'm not going to go into all that, obviously, right now. But, yeah, it's very important you punish them when Oh, wait. Okay. Wow, this Zed is something. Okay. Okay. So, what do you think was the issue here?
Overstay.
That's the first one. Yep.
Yeah, overstaying, and then also just like not walking away immediately right here because this is like I have nothing. I have no abilities.
Okay.
W. He's probably. I know he's gonna army. So just take that plate and walk away. Probably.
So right here, yeah, it's like what do you like after you took that plate and Zed shows up? What are you looking to do afterwards? What is the first priority?
I should definitely just walk away back, spend my gold. I think.
A reset. That's like your first priority. It's a reset. If you're trading like this, right? That means that's not what you were thinking. Like now you are doing something high risk when you need a reset. Right. So like if we look at the gold difference here, you're actually 500 gold ahead technically, but you haven't spent 800. So you have 1900 gold. He spent all of his. So he's 300 gold ahead of you here. Right?
Right.
So this is an extremely important fundamental to mid lane, recalls, and it's very difficult. The higher you get, it actually gets even harder because players know when you need to recall and they don't let you. So if you miss one like this, your entire lane can be thrown. Just like kind of how Zed did with his wave earlier. So now your lane is actually pretty much completely thrown here. He can just shove and you're screwed. He's chasing you because he's shit, right? But if he's not shit, he doesn't chase you. He just pushes, takes plates, and you're fucked.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I always do. I try to be like aggressive. I autopilot my aggression, which is not good.
Right. Yeah. Your autopilot is like basically we see it in every part of the game. We see it in the wave control, in the trades, the recalls, the W's, everything. So yeah, you gotta just get fully. You gotta make sure you are thinking about everything you're doing. Make sure there's a real reason for it. Okay. So we'll probably.
I just went bot here because I saw Riven mid, so I was like, all right, there's no point in me going mid.
Okay, so that's actually not true. So Riven shoved this, which was good because it punished Zed. So the reason why you like it was good what she did because she came and like put pressure on the Zed, didn't let him shove. But you need to come back to mid so she can go back to top.
Right.
And you can keep shoving. She like basically held your lane for you. Now, it also seems like she's I don't know. I mean, I don't know why she's still here. But yeah, you should have came back mid first because now you just lost like an entire wave for nothing.
Yeah.
This is just a waste of
I was thinking
time.
like I would go mid as soon as she leaves, and then she stayed for another wave. So I was like, all right, I'll just keep chilling for a little bit.
Yeah.
Some wars and then go back.
Yeah. You definitely don't got time for that shit. You definitely got it. Wow, this Zyra, no way she walked up like that. So let's talk about another thing here real quick. These are all things, I teach all of these concepts pretty much to everyone because they always come up. But like, so something like this could trick your brain to thinking this play you just did was good.
Yeah.
Results-based analysis, right? Like you don't want to get caught in that. This is definitely a play that will work 50% of the time or something. And this game isn't about, 50% plays. It's about 90% plays, consistency, right? So this isn't something that's going to consistently work. Now, there are times where you can go from base to bot lane. This just isn't one of those.
Right.
So yeah, definitely want to make sure you go back to mid lane so you can clear that wave. Yeah, now they have this. Okay. Same trade pattern. It's fine to try to do that with W. Okay, jump in right away. Aha. Okay. So, well, you are out of pots. So if you're trying to recall here, that's fine. But so when we talk about like trading patterns, so ZW, like we said, that's his most important thing. So he needs the most important thing for Zed in this matchup in particular is W. Well, it's always W for every matchup Zed plays, but for this one is W and Ignite. If he doesn't have Ignite, his kill pressure is so much lower because of your ult, right? So he used Ignite last one, and he just used W there. So even though you used E and Q at the same time he used W, you know, he's still going to have 8 seconds. You're always going to get another turn before he can use W. You're always going to get 2 turns for his 1. So here you could just jump in and combo him here because he can't, like he'd be able to hit you with his E and auto, right?
Yeah, I would just assume he would ult me and then E.
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, you know, alt plus E. So first of all, look at the alt, how much damage it does right now. It's nerfed to shit. It does 93 damage and 25% of the rest of this damage he deals. So let's look how much Z does. What's 25% of this, right? Like fucking 40 damage, 30 damage. So that's like 130 damage. Now with his passive auto, it's a little bit more. But point is, there's no world ever he can kill you without Ignite right now. Without his, that's why this is why his W is more important than his ult.
I think, maybe my idea here is to shove and like R back to lane, maybe, but I have no idea.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Whatever if your plan here was to shove or whatever, that's fine. I'm just kind of showing you how you can think about that.
I can trade there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get 2 turns to his 1 pretty much always because of his W cooldown. Actually, we should talk about another really important fundamental to mid lane. When you make a roam like this, yes, it can feel like you have to go back to mid because they are there, taking the tower. But the problem is you lose a recall. Like, so most of the time when you make a roam like this, you're going to recall and run back to mid because it takes almost the same amount of time to go from here to here as here to here, right? You just lose the 7 seconds from recalling, but then at least you get full potions, your gold spent, and so then you don't, because now you go back to mid, now you just need a recall again.
Yeah, I was thinking that if I should just reset, but I was like, I could probably catch some of the wave here, so I went most cannon, but
most of the time
it's worth it to just back.
Yep, most of the time you're going to do that. You're going to back. Only time you're not going to back is like if you don't have enough gold to spend on anything. If you don't need a reset for potions or HP or anything like that. But yeah, 95% of the time you make a roam like that, you're going to reset and then come back to mid. Not because another problem is if they are good. So if this Zed isn't dog shit and he saw you make that play down bot, he walks out of vision here, right? And then doesn't let you back into lane. Comes for you. Or he doesn't have to walk out of vision. He can literally walk at you. He knows. Look, he knows this guy can't do anything about it. He knows you're level 7. He's level 8. He can just prevent you from coming back to the lane entirely, period. Right?
Right. True. Yeah.
So this is another big, that's another, big reason why you just recall after the roam, especially if the enemy mid laner can kill you. And so a lot of these things I'm giving you are things that, you aren't being punished for right now. So
Right.
If you do implement these early, not only can you use these concepts against them, the things I'm teaching you, but it will make it so when you get to Diamond or a certain elo where people start to implement these things, you don't get caught off guard and you don't get stuck again trying to figure out what you're doing wrong, stuff like that.
Right, makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, we'll start wrapping this up. I do want to see. Let me see. Yeah. I cannot believe he's letting you cue this wave and recall and push. What the fuck? Where does he? What did he? I just got it. Where did he just go? Jesus. So look, same mistake that you made earlier, letting you get back in the game here. Same exact mistake. See, both players making it. And you got to be the one that doesn't make that mistake. You got to be the difference. Okay, so yeah, he lets you recall. Oh, you definitely shouldn't recall there. That was a greedy recall. You should always go behind a wall or in a brush or something. But okay. He used W to push this. You should just jump in. He respected it, so you can't. Yeah, he didn't actually. Wow, he is a good. See, look, he just made the same mistake you made too. Recalling not behind a wall, so you could stop him. All you had to do was move 2 steps right here, and you wouldn't know. Okay. Wait, how did you take so much damage? Ah, the wave is kicking the shit out of you. Yeah. Once you stop his recall, see, you should just be. I mean, honestly, It's okay. It's not the worst, but it does make you lose so much damage that. Oh, auto. So, you jump in here right as his W is about to fall off. This is what we were talking about before. This is like the perfect time. Right as his W is right about to fall off, you want to jump in. The only issue though was you didn't auto here. Definitely auto. Get that movement speed. Oh, wait, did you proc it? Oh, I think he ran into it like a dog. Yeah, see, because if he doesn't fucking flash and get hit by your second Q, you never proc it and you don't get any movement speed, right? So you should just auto him for it and start, running. Luckily, he gave it to you, so it lets you create some distance. But your ult here was fine. But now what you should be thinking is he just used flash, he just used ignite. You're actually, and like he doesn't have W because he just used it. You're actually not in that much danger here. Your Hecarim's coming, so we'll see how you play this. You should be putting a W down. Not even. So if you had to put W down, I'm gonna give you a few different options. If you had to put it down, would you put it here, here, or here? 1, 2, or 3?
Probably. Which one? The right in front of him, like
Right here.
to cut off his route.
Or right here?
No, right there. Yeah.
Okay. So the reason why I'm asking this is because that's another common mistake Echo players make. Is they focus too much on the W being a stun. If you put it here and you walk towards it, he walks at you and presses QE auto, and you die. You need the shield here. That's all that matters is the shield. So you just want to put it here so you can grab it and immediately Q flash, ignite, auto, or even like with E, and then because then the shield makes it so he literally cannot kill you, but you can kill him.
Right.
So that's another part of Echo. A lot of Echo's skill expression is with his W. It's the harder part of his kit. Knowing when to use it for a shield, knowing when to use it for a stun, knowing when to use it to zone people, stuff like that.
Yeah, my W placement is so bad.
It's hard. It's really hard. That's why that guy, the Chinese Echo player, is a really, really good W's. And if you pay attention to those, you can actually learn a lot, and you'll see that there are a lot of times he uses it when it's not for a stun, and you can clearly see that it's not for a stun. And like sometimes with Echo, it's all about like you could be doing both, but skewing it more towards one, meaning you'll throw it where it could potentially stun them, but it's close enough that you will definitely get the shield, and there's like a small chance you get the stun. Whereas sometimes you want to throw it so like you're mainly throwing it for the stun because you don't need the shield at all, so you throw it kind of deeper. You know what I'm saying?
Right, makes sense.
Okay, so laning phase is over now. So like yeah, I'm probably like being, as you can see, just going over laning took us an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's how it is. Laning's it's the most important part of the game, so it's the most valuable information I can give you here.
No, yeah, this has been super helpful. Laning was definitely one of the main things I wanted. I knew this game in specific, even though I ended up winning it, it's like I knew I made mistakes and didn't play it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of mistakes, so it's just like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we can see that a lot of it, because there was a lot of scenarios where you knew what to do and you knew the situation. Like you knew that the wave was frozen and he was in a bad spot. You knew that roaming down a bot lane was bad because it lets him get back in the game. Like I didn't have to give you answers to some of the like a lot of the things. You just have to actually be constantly thinking and not letting any autopilot take over.
Right. Yeah. Hug side for vision. Intent for every ability, and kind of just play the game to punish rather than to make these coin flip plays. I think that's my key takeaways from this.
Yeah, definitely. And now remember, since this was streamed, you can always go to my VODs, my stream VODs, and watch it again because we did go over a lot. So you can always watch it again to get a nice little recap. But do you have any questions on anything that we went over?
Nope. I think it all makes sense. Pretty good. Yeah, I'll definitely watch. That's why I wanted to do it on stream. So I could watch the VOD.
Cool. Now, last thing before we finish up, if you ever have, you make a play or a gank happens, team fight, whatever it is, because I know team fighting was in the thing you wanted to work on. Sadly, we didn't have enough time. But if you ever make a play, anything you have a question on, clip it or record it, send it to me, and ask me like whatever, and I'll let you know. You can ask me anything through DMs. But yeah, if that's everything, good luck, and I will see you when you get another session. Damn. So like, if any of you guys play mid lane, like if you main mid lane, that coaching session I just did covered so many important fundamentals of mid lane. I should put it on YouTube. Ellie, is there a way you could put that on YouTube for me?